Hey guys, CDTVthaG here, and the G of course stands for Greyhound. Bark bark. And today, I'm going to be reacting to the newest album from Drake, For All the Dogs. There is 23 songs on this thing, 1 hour and 24 minutes long. In my opinion, that's not necessarily a promising sign. I kind of want to like this album because recently I've been listening to older Drake music. I just recently recorded a video for my Patreon, which was a revisited reaction to what you see down there right now. Nothing was the same. But it would be foolish to expect this album to be on the same quality of Drake 10 years ago. There was a couple singles from this project. I'm happy to see that Search and Rescue is not on here. We won, but there is Slime You Out, which a lot of people seem to like that single. I didn't really care for it. And then there's the, what's it called, 8 AM in Somewhere. I think that dropped yesterday, but I haven't listened to that yet. I'll still go into the album wanting to enjoy it. The fact that this is 23 songs long doesn't give me a huge amount of faith, because that makes it seem like it's going to be a project that tries to please every aspect of Drake's audience, rather than just being a super consistent, cohesive album. You know, I feel like for me, for someone who loves like albums and albums that are well crafted, it's gonna be a pretty up and down experience, you know, with this many songs. Basically the CLB experience. I feel like that's kind of what this is gonna be, right? Track number 1, Virginia Beach, which I'm pretty sure is where Pusha T grew up, so I wonder if we're gonna get, you know, a little bit of that on here without any direct lines, because you know how Drake likes to do it. Let's go. Oh, so apparently that's Frank Ocean. I got the lyrics up in front of me here. Frank Ocean sample.
Say I could have treated you better or whatever, but I don't know. Leaning soda, fantasizing.
Oh, this is funny already. Hold up. Not like funny bad, it's just funny in like the sort of like endearingly corny way that Drake is sometimes. That lean in soda, fantasizing. We got that wordplay already, man. I'm just gonna try and like sort of give in to the album a little bit, you know? Try and vibe with it. Where did he do this flow recently? I just remembered I have a hat with a little dog embroidery thing on it. I should have wore that today. Missed opportunity. Okay. Telling us we're getting old Drake was definitely a lie. It always is.
You keep talking about some period, but where you about to end a sentence at? Cause you been going up on my head.
Oh my god. It's corny, but it's kind of endearingly corny. Like, I'm not even gonna get mad at it right now. Maybe I will when we're deeper in the album and it's really just worn off, but right now it's like endearingly silly.
Talking about you wanna cook for a nigga in the kitchen, can you make a mess?
The vocals are a bit weird. Why is the mixing kind of like warbly a little bit? Oh, this one's for all the MILFs. Oh. This is ridiculous, man. I mean, the beat is nice. Vocal mixing was a little weird, especially on the second verse. Sounded like a low quality, like, leak of his vocals put over a good beat. I mean, hey, track number 1 for Virginia Beach was okay. It had some ridiculous stuff. He gonna find out that it's on site like www, on site like .com. He's on full Drake vibes right here. It's not something that I'm gonna come back to a crazy amount, but I'm not mad at it. To start off with, I actually found the corny, silly bars on here just kind of like entertaining. Like I said, endearingly corny. It's also not something that I'm gonna linger on too much because, as I've stated a couple times already, 23 songs. We just gotta keep it moving. I'm only gonna linger on the stuff that I really like or really dislike, and I think this one, for me, was just sort of in the middle. Frank Ocean sample was nice though. Let's get on to the next one right here. Track number 2, Amen, featuring Teezo Touchdown. Teezo Touchdown has been everywhere lately. I haven't checked out his latest album, but I've heard a lot of mixed things on it. But let's see how this one is.
I come to you to say thank you.
Okay.
Praying. Thank you. Pray again.
Hey.
That's gonna treat you like I can.
Alright, this is nice so far. I like this. This is smooth.
Church like a priest, Turks for the weak. Purse for yourself, purse for your niece. No, you don't do perks, baby, but Father, I've seen. Sent more than your father ever sent. Spent more than your baby father did. And you my baby, so I gotta put you in a crib. Same neighborhood with Ashton cut your leg.
Fuck's sake, Drake.
I just went and paid a car note.
Praying,
Woo.
pray until you find a man.
I'll give this to Teezo. He's versatile.
Is you like I can?
For sales, please press 1.
I actually liked Amen. I thought Amen was pretty good. I would come back to that more than track 1. Really liked Teezo on here. I thought his vocals were beautiful. He pulled it off really well. Teezo is always trying something a little different. Drake's verse on it was short, had some of those corny Drake lines again, but I actually thought it was alright. Again, the mixing was maybe a little bit weird. It just feels like his vocals are sitting just slightly strangely on some of these beats. Like, he didn't mesh with the beat as well as Teezo did, not even in the way that he was rapping, just in terms of the vocal mixing. I don't know what that's about, considering he's rich and very, very popular. Just get really good mixing, bro. That one line, though, "Hey, you my baby, so I gotta put you in the crib." Fuck me, man. Let's relax a little bit, Drake. Let's get on to the next one right here. Track number 3, Calling For You, and this features 21 Savage. We got 7 producers on this one, I think. Lil Yachty is one of the producers on this track. Another one of the producers is called Cash Cobain. Alright, let's go.
Before she even had it, she was 21. I don't see a savage. She wanna be the one.
I need this Drake in small doses,
She don't know
man.
the classics.
Shawty's still young, so she don't know the classics. Drake, you are not beating these allegations, my friend.
I know your nigga was a bum. Fuck on the court, you had some fun. Girl, I'm the king of my city, I'm the one. How you so flashy, you really wanna win? Out in Miami, you still a one-on-one.
Liquor in my cup, yeah, passion in my cup. And Addy in my system.
Dollar Brand Weekend?
Keep my hands over hips. No, she spent
Not
some bands
even,
on
this
the
is
bitch.
like
No, I tell
Dime
you that she
Brand
really
Weekend.
wanna want. Love a boy, romance with a bitch. Couldn't even put my mans on a bitch. Like, damn.
This is on the way to being a least favorite from the album already. With those kicks, why are the kicks so... They sound like wooden crates just being dropped on the floor.
You said economy was... You said there was no first class. We're going on whack ass vacation. The chef is feeding us the same meal every day like I was like in jail still or something. And then you proceed to go through my phone. You wanted to cry.
Oh?
You were looking for something.
Fuck nigga wanna get fired on. Start your nigga up, put the iron on.
The interlude is way too long, definitely. Oh my god.
Put a college bitch in a bin. Put her in the bins, no note. Hit him from the car, no scope. All of my kids get left in her mouth. She say she don't believe in abortion. Oh, you ain't got you a boyfriend.
It's an alright 21 Savage verse. Does that save it though? I don't think it's enough to save the song. I really didn't like what Drake was doing on here, and that first beat, I thought the first beat sounded pretty bad. I see why there's so many producers on it now though, because it did have a beat switch. After that, just really long interlude that was unnecessarily long, just completely throws off the whole vibe of the song, is definitely going to stop me from coming back to it pretty much ever. 21 Savage, I do like him, but it's like I've said before, he had that rapid improvement in like 2018 where he just suddenly got a lot better, and then he stayed at that point ever since then and hasn't felt the need to change up from it. Drake's vocals with the high-pitched thing, I don't know what he was going for on here, just not fun to listen to. Again, it had some sus bars, which seems to be a thing he's going for in this project. Second beat was better though. I'll give it that. The second beat was better. 21 Savage was pretty smooth on it, just nothing new from him. Maybe still a least favorite though, just because I dislike the first part so much. Track number 4, Fear of Heights.
Why they make it sound like I'm still hung up on you? Yeah, I'm anti cause I had it with you. Okay, I'm anti like your daddy's sister.
How did I know he was gonna have some auntie wordplay in there?
Let's go pound for pound, I'm a yurt. Chrome hard collie, I had to import it. Got in my feelings, I had to record it. Before I get turned on like bass, I know that look on their face. He ain't foreign to me. Y'all don't do that shit more than me. Y'all don't do that shit more than me.
More than me. Wait, that's it? That's the verse? Okay.
Wanna work it like the job.
Okay, so that was that. Just an extremely forgettable track. I thought the beat was pretty nice, but I just didn't really care for what Drake did with it. It's just Drake doing the very like modern current rap sound, and I don't really care for the way that he does it. This is not old Drake as well, by the way. I remember he said, didn't he say when this project was coming out that it was going to be for the fans of like his older music? This isn't like fans of old Drake type songs right here. This for me is something that's never gonna hit for me when Drake does it. I don't really care for when he does this type of sound. The bars are wearing off of me very fast, like I thought they might. It becomes less and less endearing the more you hear it. Track number 5, Daylight. This is apparently featuring Adonis Graham, according to Genius. That was one of my predictions for this album, that he was gonna have like an outro or an intro with his son talking, so let's see what we got right here. Okay. Well, that's not Adonis.
Treat all my answers like Jehovah's Witnesses. Free all the dogs and fuck all the witnesses.
Hang on. Was this written for Young Thug's Business is Business? So this is a song that kind of continues on the vibe of the previous track with, again, that really modern rap sound. But right at the start, I am actually vibing with this one more because it's higher energy, it's faster paced. Drake is going for a, you know, slightly more faster energetic flow, so we'll see where this one goes.
He talking down and get put in a lake. Capital type to show up to the wake. I'm geeking hard, don't know what to take. Shot him in daylight. Shot him in daylight. I wasn't there when they caught the body. TPS think that I bought the body. Internet swear that I bought the body. Take more clumsy as fuck. We dropping niggas like Lenny Kravitz show. We rocking niggas. Tennis indoors. We squashing niggas like combo number 1. We whopping niggas. Shot him in daylight. Shot him in daylight.
Adonis isn't gonna have a verse, is he?
Don't talk to my man like that.
Hey.
My man. My man.
Hey, this is sweet.
I don't care which one you want.
That at the end there, Adonis having a verse on this song is a little strange, where the hook is shot him in daylight, shot him in daylight, shot him in daylight, and then you have a feature from Drake's 5-year-old son. But honestly, it was sweet. It was a cute moment on the album for him to, you know, put his son on there. Adonis with the feature of the year. In terms of the actual song before the Adonis part came in, I really liked the production. I thought the beat on this one went super hard. I love the fast-paced sound to it, the heavy, buzzing 808s, and Drake did have a more energetic flow on it. Is it something that's going to stick with me like crazy? Probably not, but the Adonis moment at the end was sweet, you know? Hey, we have the J. Cole feature up next. So maybe that'll bring something out of Drake. Maybe we're going to get some bars on here, you know? First Person Shooter, featuring J. Cole.
A lot of niggas debating my numero. Not the 3, not the 2, I'm the UNO. This shit like the Super Bowl, man, this shit done it big as the...
Why is he coming through on the Carti delivery again? There we go.
Back to me and they be terrible, just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women. Who the goat? Who the goat? Who the goat? It's just you and Cole.
There we go.
Niggas so thirsty to put me in beef. Dissecting my words and start looking too deep.
That does happen often.
If I dish you, I make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your call ID. Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big 3.
Alright, there we go.
When I show up, it's motion picture blockbuster. The goat with the golden pen, the top toucher.
Best verse on the album right here in my opinion. Alright, we still got a couple minutes left.
Hey, I'm about to.
What is this delivery? He keeps on doing this. I'm about to. I hate that. I hate that delivery.
I'm about to click out on this shit. I'm about to click. Whoa. Nadine, Christine, Justine, Kathleen, Charlene, Pauline. Man, I pack them in this phone like some sardines. I told Jimmy Jam I use a Grammy as a doorstop. Girl, give me some.
That was a nice little bar. J. Cole had the best verse on this album so far. Definitely. And in my opinion, J. Cole kind of carried this track as well. The first beat was my favorite part of it. I really liked the production on there. And Drake's verse was okay, but he kept trying to ruin it with the repetition and his up close in the mic whispering delivery. Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what? Like, bro, just rap. This beat calls for you to just rap and go in with a verse, but you're doing the whole Playboy Carti delivery thing. It's so annoying. J. Cole sounds super hungry at this point in his career when he's so deep into it, Drake sounds like he's got a full belly. He's not eating anymore. He's not hungry. He's not starving to have a great verse. To be honest, even though I'm not the biggest Drake fan, he is one of those artists that mentally I do have a slightly higher standard for, because he has made album of the year material multiple times before. So I do have that higher standard, and I feel like that's why stuff like this is just a little disappointing to me. Track number 7, I Don't Give a Fuck, featuring Yeat, right after the Cole feature. Again, there's not really any consistency to this. It's just a compilation of songs, feels like so far. Nope. Whoa, okay. I'm liking how this is building up though. Hearing Yeat on this, unless it's gonna have one of those instant switch ups when Yeat starts rapping. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so it's a Yeat song that Drake is gonna feature on, basically.
Money for fun. You know, popping the purchase for fun. Coming live from the 1 out of 5. Coming live from the 3-2 time. October Zone is a label. I stay with that on like a tie. I stay with that on like a bagel. You rapping my shit that you never did. My dog in the can like a metal lid.
This should just be a Yeat song. Solo. I love his like slightly goofy sounding voice. I feel like Yeat is best for me mostly in small doses. I feel like listening to his albums, they also have 20 plus tracks most of the time, so just by the end of it, it kind of wears off of me a little bit, but I do like the sort of alien, sort of sci-fi sound that his music has to it. I think it's a pretty cool vibe, and he's always switching up his delivery, using different flows and trying out new things with his voice. There's just a certain atmosphere to Yeat songs that I think is pretty cool, so I think this would work pretty well as a solo Yeat track, but the Drake feature on it, it's not like it was horrible, but it felt like it was just there to be there. It feels like he's just throwing everything on this album because why not? In a point in the track list where it doesn't feel like it fits in necessarily. Track number 8, 7969 Santa.
Look, who the fuck is that? It's a disguise. I don't like what you did on them trips. I don't like what you did to your lips.
No, the Chief Keef sample.
That shit just gon' hate you on my mind. Yeah. I just wanna get you off of my mind. I just wanna get you off of myself. I type some shit and I erase what I felt. Everybody say you fuck, and I could tell he wasn't acting like himself. Got you out here moving waist like a belt.
Moving waist like a belt. The Chief. Oh my god, beat switch the album. Utopia, this is not. Teezo again. Ooh. Could this just be a whole album of Teezo doing this?
That's that new Teezo touchdown, straight.
Snoop Dogg. That makes sense.
And you're listening to BARK Radio.
That hasn't really been present on the album yet, right? The BARK radio thing. I feel like that's like a concept. You could have done something with that to make the project feel a little bit more cohesive, but I feel like that's the first time this whole radio idea has been mentioned. So, this song, what was going on here? Teezo absolutely flexed on Drake on here. Teezo's vocals were amazing. Let's get on to the next track. This was one of the singles from the project. A lot of people enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was that good. Maybe I'll like it more on a second listen. Who knows? Track number 9, Slime You Out.
You bitches really get carried away.
Hold on.
Whipped and changed you like American slave.
I forgot about that bar. Hang on. I know the singing isn't perfect on here, but this was genius track placement, because this sounds really good to me after the last song. When I first heard this, I was like, Drake's singing isn't really good on this. Now I'm thinking, like, obviously it's clearly like auto-tuned in a weird way, but like, I don't know, I'm actually kind of vibing with what he's doing on here now. It's like singing where he tries a little bit more. The Wire reference is always a W.
These niggas got me so twisted. You ain't about the shit you rapping about, and I can spend the whole wearing it down. Tripping when that dick is barely third place. Fucked out of pity.
Oh no, the Drake outro. July is when July'd.
February is a time that you put the evil eye and the pride aside for the fantasy of getting married. April, spring is in just like a spring, you start to spiral. May brings
Wait, why am I kind of vibing with this part too, though?
July, that's when I found out July.
I can buy into the like silliness of this one.
Get a nigga here for 50 racks, girl, the beef costs like it's wagyu.
I'm enjoying myself with this one, to be honest. He went like full Drake mode in that outro right there, and I actually kind of really like it. I don't know why. When I first heard this song, I was like, I don't really like it. I don't care for it. But hearing it within the context of the album, or maybe it's just because it's my second time hearing the track, this is one of my favorites on here. Drake singing, there was more effort in it, even though he was like leaning heavily on the auto-tune to try and pull his vocals into the right place. There was still more effort put into the actual singing right there. And that last verse is so entertaining to me. The lines don't make me go like, oh, get the fuck out of here. It's like, okay, that was like silly, but it's entertaining. Also, SZA. Gotta mention SZA. I thought she was amazing on here. She just has a beautiful voice, really, really clean vocals. She had a great verse on here, and I think she, you know, matched Drake's energy on the track and actually worked really well with him. So, let's see what we got on track number 10, Bahamas Promises.
Sad that I know all the tea. You put the no women out of me.
Alright, it's one that matches the energy of the last track a little bit.
But I don't have the energy. 'Cause promise I won't cause a scene.
Ooh. Bahamas Promises was decent. I enjoyed it. It's another one where the singing, I feel like, had a little bit more effort into it. It served as more of like an interlude type of track, even though it's not labeled as one. Whoever this Haley person is, I feel kind of bad for them because they're just getting, you know, slandered across a whole track right here. But overall, I think the sound of it was very nice. Apparently, she messed up his Bahamas trip. Poor Drake. My heart bleeds for you, bro. Track number 11. Is there a feature on this? Nope. Tried Our Best.
Swear that there's a list of places that I've been with you. I wanna go without you. Swear I didn't have the discipline to Leo as a home. You make it hard to.
Is this sort of like a continuation of the last song too?
Hard times, stressed out, bad vibes. You treat right, treat you right.
Oh, that's Ty Dolla $ign on the background there.
I'll cater to you, girl, but late night you a terrorist. The girl that the boy cherishes. Message red like a brake light. Word sharp like a steak knife.
Message red like a brake light.
Swear to God, you think I'm Shakespeare. That's why you always wanna play right. This ain't something I.
So another one that went a little bit more mellow. Very like minimal drums, if there even was any. Now here's the thing I'm thinking. Another thing that ties back to this album being 23 songs long. The last 3 tracks have all had a pretty similar sound. You couldn't just blend that down into one track on the project rather than putting 3 in a row. Because, I mean, Tried Our Best sounded fairly nice, but I got a little bit bored by it just because it was 3 songs that went for the same type of vibe in a row. Let's see where it goes next with track number 12, Screw the World Interlude.
Hey, I never clear.
Produced by DJ Screw. Screw the World. If I rule the world. Screw the World Interlude, it was literally a DJ Screw interlude. It sounded pretty cool, but my question is, like, does it fit in on here? I guess it depends where we go next. We had our R&B Drake, and now we're going into a DJ Screw interlude for some reason. But we're gonna see where it goes after that with track number 13, Drill Picasso. Ooh.
You cannot find no one better than it. Taking 3 months out and fucking again. After you said we not fucking again. Moving like Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Feel like you trying to dog the kid.
Oh my god.
So embarrassing, I want to die.
What is he doing here?
Fucking again. After you said we not fucking again. Thought it could have made it work again. And I want to die.
So we got the Screw the World interlude just to go into another slow R&B style track. Like, what was the point of that Screw the World interlude? It didn't change the vibe of the album.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm the one that you was wishing for when you was married. In Miami in the house with me like they just put my ass in Gryffindor. Mouth dry over two, got each other back, and then you put the knife in it like the kitchen drawer. But
oh
I'm
my
feeling on the
God.
south, you still listening to R. Kelly in the whip, baby girl, and I don't judge it. I'ma end this shit and let the
we got another one. Get Chris Hansen in here, man. Okay, that song was pretty dead. Very tired of this sound already, man. I really liked Slime You Out. And then he was like, yeah, you're gonna get this mellow R&B sound for the next, like, 3 full songs after it. It's not even that it was the same sound, though. This one was just more boring. Just a very dead song. I mean, the drums were hitting a little bit harder, but Drake sounded like he didn't even want to be here. This is where the singing is so mellow and droning and just very not fun to listen to. Production across this whole thing has been pretty solid, but the issue is Drake over it and him flip-flopping between whether he wants to try or not. Track number 14, Members Only, featuring PartyNextDoor.
wake up every day.
Oh my god, Drake's just like me. I wake up every day too. We're so in sync.
Next month is going down like timber. You're one of my members. Some other guys in the city, what happened? LOL gang, we the last ones.
It was nice of PartyNextDoor in this one to not jump scare us like he did on Preach. That should still guess me.
You standing tall like the Star Spangled. I give you my all if you're ready for. You're too down with the gang.
Yeah, brother, preach. 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 God, this is so dead, man. Ah, yes, older Drake equals slow song. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. No, he did it again. Say that you're a lesbian girl, me too, and now feel like I'm bi cause you're one of the guys, girl. He's done it again.
Say you started dating girls now. Say it to me with a straight face. Oh, nice. Oh, coming at the same time like jinx. I'm talking dirty.
What the fuck is he saying? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sad to report that it's getting worse. Whoa, this is getting tough now, man. This song was just bad. Drew Picasso was boring, Members Only was boring. It's really getting tough now. I think Drake has this idea in his head that, oh, slow beat plus singing equals old Drake. That's what people liked about old Drake. There was a slower beat and I was singing. That's it. But it's really not that. There's significantly more elements to it that make old Drake way better than this. And then the whole gangy thing, what was that about? Is he trying to make that a thing? You're too down with the gangy? And PartyNextDoor didn't really like his feature. I've never been crazy about his stuff. Track number 15, What Would Pluto Do? If this is a song named after Future, give us a banger on this one.
Damn, okay. I've been out of the way in the cut, it's been a minute. What would Pluto do? He for the hoe, so I did it. What would Pluto do? He for the hoe, so I did it.
What would Pluto do? Make a better album, probably.
Life is going just how I predicted. Okay, dropping 2 Cialis in a liquid. Okay, I ain't got a.
Did Drake just have a bar about drugging women? Is he dropping 2 Cialis in her liquid? Drake Ross?
What? Really hate a rap nigga. Let's not even talk about them fuck niggas. See, you ain't get rid of nothing. Where you get the jeans from? Who sold the buttons? Cause that shit still popping out the front and the back.
I hear those little Yachty ad-libs in there.
Get inside and Benedict just like the Pope. Girl, you got me begging for a 10 like I'm broke. Girl, I want us trying to have you coming out your shell like the yoke. But I heard you fucking with a nigga that I know.
This is the man that Twitter says can out-rap Kendrick Lamar. What Would Pluto Do is one where it was a song of like 2 different kind of feelings. I really liked the sound of this track. I thought the sound of it was a vibe. I liked the sort of like fun piano-based instrumental. It just had a little bit of life to it. It was entertaining from the sound perspective. I don't care for the lyrics on this song at all. The lyrics on this track are horrible. So bad. Because, yeah, Drake, he's a fairly good songwriter. When he wants to be, he's a great songwriter, but Drake's bars are more so written for you to be able to easily grasp them, whereas obviously with Kendrick there's more layers to it. It was a fun enough track if you just ignore the lyrics. Let's go on to the next one. Do we have a feature? We do. The next one is the one that features Chief Keef. Track number 16, All the Parties.
Jason got my name glow in the dark. Lit up the dark like I'm over your mark. Walking cars, I got my crown in the start.
Why is Drake in his baby voice era?
Was the last time that you niggas even had your name on the chart.
That's kind of a good bar.
Used to be a smarty, used to wanna study. Now she popping addies.
Used to be a smarty.
Girl, you such a thotty. Hey, souls, baby.
Oh, and then a switch already. Was that all the Chief Keef feature is gonna be?
Three baby, am out of shackle and chain. Need my evil twin, we one in the same. Shot the machine from the woods. And I wish I could dead all the beefing. And I wish I could dead all the diss and deceased friends. We copping cars like policemen. We heavy guys like obese men. I keep showing love to the
Bro is really digging at the bottom of his simile book right here.
What's in the top of your mouth? Roof. What's a babe named Roof? What do a dog say? Roof.
This is better wordplay than Drake's had for most of the album.
B-A-R-K radio.
Why do they just randomly drop in these B-A-R-K radio skits? Like, it feels like they're just randomly tacked on. It could have been a consistent theme throughout the album. Track number 16, All the Parties, was just another forgettable one, to be honest. I just want something that I'm gonna feel like, damn, Drake is really doing something special or different or fun with this one. But the Chief Keef feature was just a very short hook, and then the beat changed, and that was it. Is there anything else I can really even say about this one? The outro was kind of funny. Track number 17, 8 a.m. in Charlotte. This was a single that Drake dropped for the album yesterday, but I have not heard it. I'm aware of the fact that it has a Conductor Williams beat.
Yeah, the money speaking for itself, I call it fortune tell. Chinchilla, Ushanka, we skiing out in Courchevel. Breaking news, they try to kill him, but the boy prevails.
Just straight away, even from the vocabulary that he's pulling out on this one, a chinchilla Ushanka, we skiing out in Courchevel. That's a simple bar that just sounds interesting with the word choice. And it's not just basic ass middle school appeal one-liners.
Knowing they gon' sell another Citizen Kane, they think they Orson Welles. Walking cause your words don't match your actions like a foreign film. And now silence in the lamb like the horror film. And it's gon' feel like you sitting at your favorite restaurant, cause nigga, that's where you dine at. Mob ties, long kiss goodnight, PDA for my nemesis. 300 acres, PGA on the premises.
I actually really like that bar right there as well. It was another simple one, but it hit like long kiss goodnight, PDA for my nemesis. PDA, I believe in this context, is public display of affection. So long kiss goodnight, PDA for my nemesis. 300 acres, PGA on the premises. The bars actually hit just how they should, and it feels like just that little bit of extra effort was put into making them sound hard, you know?
Obsessed with me and it's not on no hetero vibe. Handle beef so quiet, you think that I'm letting it slide. That's why you got deserted by your niggas like pudding and cake. I got you on.
Okay, that one was a bit silly.
Another USB to put in the safe. Thank God.
After this album, I don't want to know what's on the USBs that Drake keeps in the safe, alright? With those suspect bars.
Not saying I'm the best at what I do. I'm just saying that it's me versus whoever wanna lose.
I mean, do I even need to say it? That's definitely one of the best tracks on the album, if not the best. This is one that I think reflected the old Drake vibes much more, where it's like this classier, soulful type of instrumental, and he's actually just rapping over it. And he's got bars on here that are good, you know? I liked what he had to say on here. Wondering how it kind of fits into the sequencing of the album when we have BBL Love Interlude up next. Don't really think there is much of a sequence to this album or much thought put into that, but yeah, I liked what he was saying on here. There was a lot of bars that actually hit and didn't come off as cringy. I feel like there was a lot more effort in the songwriting on here. It's one of those ones where, again, the bars aren't necessarily complex to process, but they were creatively written a little bit, and I think nicely delivered to the point where they actually stuck, and it was just good to listen to. Drake sounded a bit more passionate on this one, which, shock horror, surprise surprise, made the song better. Track number 18, BBL Love. I don't know what style of song we're gonna get on this, but let's see.
Bust that pussy open for a real one. You won't know if it's real until you feel one. What if I was somebody else? Would your ass still be here? Would you love Ed like you love Drake? Love Fred like you love Drake. Love Greg like you love Drake. Man brought you to the Drake show. Front row and paid all cash. Dressed up to the nines, girls. Guess them hoes still believe in Saint Nick. Yeah, I'm a saint, alright.
This is Sade Adu, and you're listening to BARK Radio.
And there it is again. BARK Radio. BBL Love was a very nothing track. Again, it's nice production. I love the soulful sort of sample-based production sound. I think Kid Masterpiece did a really good job on it. But Drake, once again, what are you talking about, bro? The whole song was summed up by that line. They say love's like a BBL. You won't know if it's real until you feel one. I think this is one where he was over-committed to the theme to the point that it just made the lyrics on it absolutely ridiculous. Well, let's get into the next one. Track number 19, Gently, featuring Bad Bunny. I wonder if he's gonna go for the Latin rap sound on this one. I guess we'll see. Hold on, let me hear that again.
Baby, my this is from Casablanca. Me gusta su sonrisa. I live like sopranos, italianos.
What the fuck?
Either I slow down the trip or I speed up the visa. Me now I wanna leave ya. Gracie pon mi amor, mi amiga. Ella sabe que está bien rica. Ay santo Dios mío, casi cale. En RD tanto mi cuero, en PR todas las yales.
Sorry, can I pause it for a second to bring up the track sequencing again? 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Then into the sound of BBL Love. And then this? You know what that little vocal sample in the back of the beat reminds me of? It reminds me of, if you guys have heard Coronao Now. In her mouth, in her mouth, in her mouth, mouth. Ow, ow, ow. Come on. This is washing this song. So that was that. Gently featuring Bad Bunny was a very strange track for this album. Again, it's just another part of the weird sequencing of the album. Where would Gently fit into this track list? The answer is that it doesn't. It's kind of like the Yeat song, I Don't Give a Fuck, where this is just a Bad Bunny song that Drake features on. And the song itself wasn't really that good either. Like, the song itself just wasn't a fun listen. Up next is track number 20 of 23, Rich Baby Daddy featuring Sexyy Red and SZA. Interesting combo. Why is that so loud? Oh.
Bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. I still got some love deep inside of me. No need to lie to me. You just might get that G-Wagon out of me. Heard this money on my head, what is that to me?
It's kind of fun, but weird for the album. It's also like the longest song on here. I like those drums, man. Hey, hey. Is it bad that I'm kind of vibing with this more that it goes on? Let that coochie breathe.
Shake that ass, bitch. Hands all you need. Shake that ass for Drake. Now
shake that ass for me. I can enjoy it in a pure, simple entertainment kind of way.
You know the root of it. You know the lies and you know the truth of it. Care of the dog until the dog days are over.
Man, get Drake off of this song. So that was Rich Baby Daddy featuring Sexyy Red and SZA. From the looks of it, a lot of people hated Sexyy Red on that track, but to be honest, I bought into it more the more it went on. It's just like a fun, silly kind of song. Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe. I think the drums were really good. They had a lot of energy to them. The switch up for the outro kind of killed the vibe a little bit. I don't know why Drake felt like he needed to have like a slow, quote-unquote deep outro for this track. It felt a little unnecessary. SZA clearly had the best part though. SZA had the best part by far. I actually can enjoy it in a certain type of way outside of what Drake did on here. Track number 21, Another Late Night featuring Lil Yachty.
Hey, this Lil Drizzy reppin' Creep.
Okay, so he's making a Lil Yachty song.
Hey, thinking about this pill I took. Pillow talking, shorty rinsing Dylan Brooks. Hey, widows in my comments talking about some Millie Bobby look. Bring them jokes up to the.
Hold on. So Drake is saying here, if people mention the whole thing with him DMing Millie Bobby Brown online, if they say that in person, he's gonna cut off their finger and send it to their mother in a FedEx box? What you trying to hide, bro?
She ain't in Hollywood, this ain't LA. No way, she a pretty little lie. And I hate to even call her as my bitch, cause I love that hoe, don't even make no sense.
I'm sorry. And I hate to even call her ass my bitch, cause I love that hoe. Don't even make no sense. Such a smooth romancer at this point in his career.
Demolition gang, Popeye, yeah, we get it knocking. Moves a white bitch up and now she thinks she really poppin'.
It's just another late night with my bitch, ay. Just another late night with my...
Another late night is just like if you made a really boring Lil Yachty song and got Drake on it. It was just another really dead track. Like, it wasn't horrible, but just boring. Why are the features not contributing to a Drake track rather than being the features style of song with Drake on it? Let's get on to the next one. Track number 22. Bring something good out for the last two songs, Drake. Come on. Away From Home.
Give a fuck if they remember. I was in the cold when those froze. I was sleeping in the whip trying to get a fucking grip. I remember driving Holland Tunnel for a label meeting, thinking about more cake than a funnel. I remember I was sleeping in the basement, watching Tigger in the basement. I was trying to get a placement. I remember made me think of when I had to put some money on the mortgage. This don't feel like home anymore. I remember when it used to mean more.
You know, there's a couple lines there that suggest there could be an interesting concept to this song. This don't feel like home anymore. It's just walls, doors, and floors that only I can afford. But I don't know, I just feel like he's not saying anything particularly interesting on the verses, or at least not delivering it in a way that actually makes me focus on what he's saying. It's got the elements of a good song, I just don't feel like it's executed all that well.
Keep it real, I wasn't really gangster till now. I was living on a cloud. I remember.
Nicely placed ad-lib. Away From Home is one that had potential. I think it had elements of a good Drake song in there, but the execution was just kind of boring. I feel like this could have been solid as a reminiscent sort of track, looking back to what he, used to do when he was grinding to like make it in the rap game and make money and all this stuff, and just looking at how different his life is now. It's something that he's tackled a lot before though, and here it's just like a very slow, mellow version of that. It feels like there was good elements here. Like I said, I like the tone that the chorus was going for, or the message the chorus was going for. It had potential, it had good elements, but overall just kind of boring. Track number 23, Polar Opposites. Will he close it on a good note? Let's see.
Tweaking on vacation with me. You said limitations.
I thought he'd close it out with a rapping track, but nope. Drake's singing vocals have been so weird lately. Drake's old singing, I swear, felt like very vulnerable and genuine. Now it sounds just processed.
I just know the tension is increasing.
Tensions is definitely rising.
I'm not the same person I was 5 drinks ago.
Drake is dropping like wine mom Facebook bars in here. I'm not the same person I was 5 drinks ago. I can't believe this is the bullshit we're closing with. Shout out to the producers, most of the producers who actually came through with good beats on the album though. Production from start to finish I would say was pretty damn solid. Drake is the weak link in the chain right now, sadly. And there we go. That's the end of the album. For All the Dogs by Drake. Just a very nothing way to finish the album. I guess that's kind of fitting for what the project was, right? Away From Home, even though it wasn't crazy, was a better album closer than this whiny bullshit. Good production, once again, but like pretty much every track has had good production except for maybe Gently. For me personally, let's get into my initial thoughts on For All the Dogs by Drake. I think off of my first listen, which again, second listen is the more valuable one in my opinion, but off of my first listen, I probably liked CLB more than this. CLB has more songs that I like than this. I don't know, I'm looking back at the track list, I'm thinking how much of this am I going to want to revisit, and I don't think there's much. And while I'm asking that question, why don't we go through my favorite and least favorite tracks on here? Favorites from For All the Dogs. Let's go fucking digging for the jams. I'm gonna throw Amen up there. I would throw First Person Shooter on there if Drake tried more on that track, but he kind of ruined it a little bit. Slime You Out. Slime You Out was one that I didn't really care for it that much when I heard it as a single, but hearing it in this album, I thought it was actually really good. 8 AM in Charlotte. 8 AM in Charlotte was one of the best tracks, maybe the best track hands down, and that's the only one on here that I would say really felt like old Drake, like literally the only one. That's maybe it right now. Least favorite songs on the album, I would say Fear of Heights, 7969 Santa. Definitely, that was so dead. Probably throw Members Only up there. Gently with Bad Bunny, what the fuck was going on with that? Just randomly thrown on here. And yeah, I'd say those were my least favorites. There's so much stuff in here that doesn't sit in my favorites or least favorites. It's just kind of boring or dull or in the middle or decent. Saying that we were going to get more old Drake on this album was kind of a ridiculous claim with what we did get. I feel like there really wasn't any of that, and it just felt like a really sort of draining listen. And it's funny because I think at the start of this reaction I was way more optimistic. I was kind of feeling hopeful at the start, and then the more it went on, I think you could just see that optimism just get drained out of me. It was way more similar to something like CLB, for example, than old Drake. One thing that I've talked about a bunch throughout it is the sequencing of this album is so bizarre. It doesn't really feel like it makes sense. Like, just, okay, we've got these songs where I try a new age, like SoundCloud rap style, let's jam a bunch of those songs together, but also have a couple of them later on in the album for some reason. And then we've got all my slow R&B songs that I made for the album, let's jam all of those together. Then we'll throw in a Sexy Red track and feature SZA on it. We'll put a Lil Yachty track in there. We'll throw in a random DJ Screw interlude. Yeah, structure is garbage and it doesn't really have a theme. Most of the themes are Drake whining about women, but what's new, you know? The lyricism was, a lot of it was just very basic wordplay that made you roll your eyes. Sometimes it was funny, other times I just wanted him to stop. I honestly think the more I listen to this, it could be a top 10 worst album of the year for me, because it's so long, it's so bloated, it's such a draining listen. It's not the worst album I've heard this year. There is flashes of greatness on here, but the flashes of greatness are buried amongst filler, which is what you can expect when it's a Drake album that's this long in 2023. Again, I don't really like giving ratings after a first listen because, again, the second listen is the true listen. But I'd probably say somewhere around a 4 out of 10 probably, which is a shame because I was going in hoping for and expecting at least a 5 out of 10, but we really didn't get that. Even not being a Drake fan, I'm a little bit disappointed by this project.